Hi, I'm Jude from headfi.org, and this is the 2021 CanJam SoCal preview. CanJam SoCal takes place September 25th and 26th at the Irvine Marriott Hotel in Orange County, California, and this is the first CanJam in a year and a half, and what a year and a half it's been. We've missed you all very much, and we're very much looking forward to seeing you at CanJam SoCal. We've been so busy with the website, product launches, and preparing for CanJam in these ever-changing times, so I've asked HeadFi team members Brian, who goes by Axel Chloris on the forums, and Warren, who goes by Warren P. to give me a hand with the preview, so you'll be seeing them today too. Now there'll be a bunch of new products at CanJam SoCal this year, so we'd best get right to them. Before we do though, we want to thank our CanJam SoCal sponsors, Headphones.com, Cardis Audio, Headphone Guru, AudioHead, the Los Angeles and Orange County Audio Society, and Qobuz for all their support. And Qobuz is not only one of the sponsors, by the way, they're the official CanJam music streaming partner. And now, here's a sampling of just some of the gear you'll be able to hear and see at CanJam SoCal 2021. A little while ago, Headphones.com reached out to us to ask if there was still time to have us feature some gear in this preview video. With everything Headphones.com carries, I was extremely surprised, but also absolutely thrilled when they sent this. This is the Amps & Sound Forged desktop tube headphone amplifier, and it's a gorgeous piece with all the things about tube amps I love. In this day and age, with all the focus when it comes to amplifiers being measurements, SINAD or THD+N, tube amps have unfortunately been pushed the wayside, and that's too bad because they can be absolutely magical to listen to. I've mentioned this before in previous videos. I'm an unabashed tube audio enthusiast. Recalling a story I've shared before, the best sounding hi-fi system I can remember hearing was back in 2002 at the Home Entertainment Show in New York. It was the Joseph Audio, Manley Labs, SPJ, and Cardis exhibit. Those were the manufacturers whose components made up that system. Jeff Joseph ended the demo by playing Louis Armstrong's St. James Infirmary on vinyl. I closed my eyes and Louis Armstrong was in that room with us. I was one of several men in that room who literally had tears running down his cheeks during that finale. That was nearly 20 years ago, and I'll never forget that experience. The amplifiers driving Joseph's loudspeakers were Manley Labs Neoclassic 250 all-tube monoblocks. Of course, that was a loudspeaker setup, but some of the very best sounding headphone systems I've ever heard have also used tubes in their circuits, like the Sennheiser HE1, the old Sennheiser Orpheus system, the Headamp Blue Hawaii, the HIFIMAN Shangri-La, my custom Frank Cooter tube amp for Stax headphones, and others. Getting back to the amps and sound, with this amp I'm reminded of vintage tube gear but with a modern twist. It has warmth, but it's not syrupy, maybe most importantly to me, with the kind of sonic chiaroscuro, light and shade, that brought Louis Armstrong into that room. The Forge gives flesh and blood to sonic image objects. Of course we're talking headphones, so it's not as lifelike as that room with loudspeakers in 2002. But within the confines of my headspace, that's still a magical trait. Anyway, make sure to stop by Headphones.com's exhibit, which I imagine will be kind of a show within a show, given the wide variety of products they carry. But please give the Amps & Sound Forge a listen with a pair of headphones you know well. You may listen and wish for better SINAD, but I really don't think that'll be the case.
For many, it may feel as though an eternity has passed since CanJam SoCal 2016, but for some of you, there was one specific contest at the show so memorable you've never stopped thinking about it. Specifically, there was one event that took place that year which some of you have been asking for a return ever since. Well, we've heard your requests, and we're excited to announce that the CanJam Scavenger Hunting Giveaway is returning to CanJam SoCal this year. As the name implies, the CanJam Scavenger Hunting Giveaway is your shot to win one of several incredible prizes from select CanJam exhibitors simply by stopping by and giving new gear a listen. All you have to do is complete a simple scavenger hunt that takes place all across CanJam. If you're joining us at CanJam SoCal this year, make sure to grab a scavenger hunt card at registration. Then, as you go around the exhibit hall, stop by each and every participating exhibitor to earn credit towards your entry into the giveaway. Once you've completed the hunt, return your card to the registration table. It's as simple as that. Winners must be present to claim their prizes, so be sure to join us on Sunday afternoon when we will be randomly drawing all of the winners live and in person in the Marriott Irvine's Grand Ballroom. The HeadFi and CanJam team wants to extend a special thank you to each of the exhibitors who have donated so many wonderful prizes for HeadFires to win. You can check out the comprehensive list of prizes in the CanJam SoCal discussion thread and linked in the description below. If you live in the greater LA area, you probably know the name The Source AV. If you're active on HeadFi's forums, you probably know the name The Source AV. If you've never had the opportunity to visit TSAV's Torrance, California showroom, then you're in luck because they're coming to CanJam SoCal and they'll have a monumental selection of gear in tow. Their catalog contains an assortment of products from brands like Final Audio, Grado, Macintosh, Quad, and so many more. One of the headphones you're sure to find at TSAV's exhibit is the headphone by Head Audio. The headphone is the first full-range air motion transformer headphone intended for audiophiles and recording artists. The air motion transformer is an electrodynamic transducer that, according to Head, can move air significantly faster than common voice coil, magnetostatic, or electrostatic systems. It has a folded diaphragm that squeezes air out 4 times faster, which Head says is a breakthrough for capturing more details. If you're coming to CanJam in search of a listening experience unlike any you've had before, then make a beeline to TSAV's exhibit and give the Head Audio headphone a try.
The two best built, most finely crafted headphones I've ever used are both by Meze Audio. The Meze Audio Empyrean and the just released Meze Audio Elite. I've never seen craftsmanship like their flagships in any other headphones, a sort of combination of fine watchmaking and Formula One. They're simply the best, most precisely finished headphones at any price. Now, of course, all of that would mean very little if they didn't have the sound quality to go with it, and they absolutely do. We just posted a video recently about the Meze Audio Elite, so please watch it if you haven't already. The new flagship Meze Audio Elite has a slightly forward mid-range that I love, mid-range that gives it warmth and weight without congestion or muddiness. And the Elite's mid-range is framed by beautifully extended, impactful bass on one side and smooth and shimmery treble on the other. By the way, make sure to hear it with its new hybrid ear pads. The Meze Audio Elite is an absolutely beautiful headphone to listen to look at, and feel, and it should be one of the headphones at the top of your CanJam audition list.
The team from JH Audio will be at CanJam, and it's always a good time at the JH exhibit. If I can make a suggestion, your first listen at JH should be their 4-way, 12-element hybrid in-ear monitor, the Jolene. The Jolene uses a pair of 9.2mm dynamic drivers for the low end to deliver sub-bass punch. 2 4.9mm dynamic drivers cover the lower mids for a natural low-end bass with exceptional tonality and rich texture. The upper mids and high frequencies are both powered by quad-balanced armature drivers similar to the JH Audio Roxanne. JH Audio describes the Jolene as the most natural, analog-sounding IEM JH Audio's founder Jerry Harvey has ever designed, incorporating JH Audio's FreakFace technology to ensure the sound from every driver arrives at your ear within 1/100th of a millisecond. Be sure to give Jolene a listen and see if she just might take you away from your current IEMs. Another IEM to audition at JH's exhibit is the JH Audio Jimmy. It's been said that Jerry created Jimmy with old-school tuning in mind. Jimmy's shells house 7 balanced armature drivers per side, which JH says presents a warm, neutral, analog-like sound signature that takes you back to the sounds of Led Zeppelin and the Rolling Stones in the 70s. Am I interested in giving it a listen? Absolutely. Of course, JH Audio will also have their other popular IEMs, like the Roxanne, Layla, Angie, and more. DUNU Audio is one of the companies you can always expect to see at CanJams across the globe, and DUNU Audio is joining us once again this month for CanJam SoCal. If you're not yet familiar with DUNU Audio, they manufacture premium aftermarket pads, ear tips, and accessories for some of your favorite headphones and earphones. DUNU's premium memory foam earpads are available in several configurations using premium materials like sheepskin, velour, and vegan leather, and they're available for a wide range of headphones ranging from iconic Head 5 favorites like Sennheiser's HD800S to the widely popular Sony WH-1000X M4. If you're an in-ear enthusiast, be sure to check out the DUNU Audio Bullets for your favorite in-ears and true wireless IEMs. If you travel frequently with your full-size headphones, then don't miss DUNU's Save Your Headphone case. There really is something for everyone to try at DUNU's exhibit. DUNU Audio will also be giving attendees a pair of Mercury or Gemini IEM tips and a pack of headphone cleaning wipes at the show, so be sure not to miss their exhibit at CanJam.
One of the most interesting audio stories that has so far flown mostly under the radar on this side of the ocean is that HIFIMAN announced that they've developed their own DAC chip. Fang Bian of HIFIMAN had been wanting to develop his own DAC for the last 20 years, and over the last 5 years, HIFIMAN's done it. It's called the Himalaya R2R DAC chip, and as its name suggests, it's an R2R DAC, not a Delta Sigma DAC. Now, if you don't know what R2R or Delta Sigma DACs are, you're going to have to Google both. But aficionados of R2R DACs will often stand firm on using them, insisting on and preferring the character, the sound of R2R DACs. HIFIMAN's first Himalaya DAC chip is designed to compete strongly against the venerable PCM 1704 family of DAC chips while being extremely energy efficient, making it ideal for use in and with portable battery-powered devices. At CanJam SoCal, HIFIMAN will be showing their first products that make use of the Himalaya, with more coming in the future. At CanJam SoCal, look for this. This is the new HIFIMAN Deva Pro headphone that comes packaged with the new HIFIMAN Blue Mini R2R DAC Bluetooth dongle. The new planar magnetic HIFIMAN Deva Pro improves upon the original Deva with HIFIMAN stealth magnets, shaped to allow waves to pass through the magnet array with minimal interference. The included Blue Mini R2R Bluetooth DAC dongle supports aptX HD and LDAC. Now, I've been using it with my Huawei P30 Pro using high-res LDAC, and it sounds superb. The Deva Pro has a wonderfully detailed and full-bodied sound signature that appeals to my tastes very much. Now, priced at only $329, the Deva Pro with the included Blue Mini R2R is an incredible value. Also at CanJam will be the HIFIMAN R10D, which will also be shown with the Blue Mini R2R Bluetooth DAC dongle. And HIFIMAN will also have a new version of the HIFIMAN Aria, which, like the Deva Pro, now also incorporates HIFIMAN stealth magnets. Of course, I expect HIFIMAN will have more of their line there than we had time to discuss here, so make sure to stop by HIFIMAN's exhibit at CanJam SoCal.
There are several headphones adored by the HeadFi community which require considerable power and current in order to shine. Headphones like the Abyss AB1266 Phi TC, HIFIMAN's HE6N Susvara, and the Sennheiser HD800 and 800S, to name a few. If you have any of these headphones in your stable, you know how picky they can be when it comes to amps, and they demand more from an amplifier to sound their absolute best. So if you're searching for big beastly amplifiers with gobs of power, enough to drive even the most challenging headphones, then Wells Audio should be high on your audition list at CanJam SoCal. While you're at Wells Audio's exhibit, do not miss what is likely the best known amp in their catalog, the Wells Audio Milo. The Milo is a vertically designed dual mono solid-state headphone amplifier capable of outputting 18 watts RMS into 8 ohms and 12 watts RMS into 32 ohms. If tube amps are more your thing, then Wells Audio's Dragon Tube amplifier is a must audition. Wells Audio says that they set out with the intent of creating an amplifier that could drive any headphones on the market regardless of load, and would work optimally with every headphone on the market, from the least efficient to the most, the end result of that journey being the Dragon. On the forums, fellow Headfire Hansotech stated that the Dragon unearthed a level of bass power from the HE1000 SE he didn't even know was there. With statements like that, it's easy to see why the Dragon will be a must-hear at Wells Audio's exhibit. Bloom Audio is traveling across the country to join us in LA, and they're bringing along a broad selection of gear from the brands available in their store. Brands like Astel & Kern, Audio-Technica, Chord Electronics, Focal, Ibasso, Meze, and many, many more. And yes, you'll be able to audition the all-new Meze Elite at Bloom Audio's exhibit. One of the many brands Bloom Audio carries in their lineup is Elitech. Elitech's collection of bespoke cables are surely dressed to impress, from the Virtue series with the Fortitude and Prudence IEM cables, their School of Athens series with Socrates and Plato cables, up to their Parnassus series, which hosts their flagship Aeneid and Iliad cables. We've had both the Plato and Iliad in our office previously, and in our experience, both are fantastic choices for anyone considering a premium IEM cable. The Plato and Iliad sport 24-gauge cryogenically treated monocrystalline silver conductors, Kevlar construction, bonds joined with bespoke solder, and Elitech's patent-pending FlexiMax insulation. Going above and beyond the Plato, the Iliad features individually enameled conductor strands made with palladium-plated silver and gold-silver alloy in a hybrid Type 4 Litz geometry. If you're looking for a cable to complement your favorite in-ear monitors, be sure to check out Bloom Audio's exhibit to try the Elitech lineup and so much more. Alsounds is joining us at CanJam SoCal, and they're going to have their full lineup of audio products, like the full-size AU XT active noise-canceling headphones, the AU Stream Hybrid True Wireless IEMs, and the unusual AU Lens True Wireless Audio sunglasses. That's right, sunglasses. But what I'm personally most interested in trying at Alsounds' exhibit is the upcoming wireless headphone, the Alsounds AU-X. Alsounds is calling the AU-X the world's first noise-canceling planar magnetic over-ear headphone. The AU-X is built around Alsounds' 54mm AU planar magnetic driver, and Alsounds says their soundproof noise cancellation technology enables AU-X to deliver clear, balanced audio even when ANC is active. The AU-X supports SBC, AAC, aptX, and aptX HD wireless codecs. For battery life, Alsounds says we can expect to get a full 25 hours of listening time with ANC disabled, and 20 hours when listening with ANC active. The AU-X supports USB-C rapid charging and can be fully charged after just 2 hours. The housing features both touch and gesture controls, and the AU-X works with a number of virtual voice assistants. Since most of us wear our wireless ANC headphones on the go, it's also nice to see that the AUX is IPX5 certified. The AUX should be your first headphone to audition at the OwlSound CanJam exhibit, but be sure to check out the rest of their portable lineup too.
This year at CanJam SoCal, we're getting a bit, well, educational. That's right, it's September and school is back in session, and all of the seminars taking place this year will be class-like with plenty of room for Q&A. All will be taking place on Saturday, September 25th in the Rancho Las Palmas room on the main level of the Irvine Marriott. From 11 a.m. to noon, join Michael Goodman, the founder and lead engineer and designer at Centrance Technologies, for his session titled Digital Audio 101. It'll be an introduction to digital audio and digital to analog converters. Learn about different DAC topologies, filters, jitter, ringing, and more from his years of experience in the industry. Do DAC chips really have a house sound? Find out during Digital Audio 101. What are the amplification needs for your favorite headphones? Do you pick tubes or solid state? The Amplification 101 seminar has you covered. Join Justin Weber, the founder and lead engineer and designer of Amps and Sound, and learn amp basics such as power output, voltage, current, output impedance, damping factor, and distortion to make a more informed decision in your amp selection process going forward. Amplification 101 takes place from noon to 1 p.m. From 2 p.m. to 3 p.m., join Everett Manns, community manager for both Sennheiser and Deconi Audio, for the Headphones 101 session to get an overview of various driver designs as well as basic acoustics, frequency response, impedance, sensitivity, and more. Educate yourself with these basics to make a more informed choice for your next headphone purchase. Of course, if you still need more information and want to take your understanding of high-performance headphones to the next level, join Dan Clark, founder and lead engineer and designer at Dan Clark Audio, for Headphones 201. This session takes place from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. Explore more advanced acoustical concepts, understand how to interpret headphone measurements, and learn why there is no such thing as a perfect headphone. Yet. Again, all 4 of these seminars will take place on Saturday, September 25th in the Rancho Las Palmas room on the main level of the Irvine Marriott.
Cardis is a name that's been around since 1987, and as another product of that era, the two of us have spent more than 3 decades growing and adding a number of skills to our portfolios. For me, those abilities include baking pastries and filming CanJam preview videos. Cardis, meanwhile, spent the last 30-something years honing their skills in manufacturing a variety of audio cables, headphones, and accessories. Many of the DIYers in our community are no doubt familiar with Cardis' selection of bulk cabling, terminators, connectors, heat shrinks, and more. Those of us who aren't into DIY have seen their lineup of interconnects and headphone cables, and let's not forget Cardis' in-house IEMs, the Cardis EM5813, with its 11mm dynamic driver and chassis made from machined brass, and Cardis' flagship 10.85mm driver IEM, the Cardis A8 30th Anniversary Edition. Cardis always has a wide selection of products at their exhibits, so stop by their booth at CanJam SoCal and try their IEMs, cables, and much more. CanJam is one of the best places to track down the latest and greatest IEMs the world has to offer, and if you're on the hunt for a new IEM, then the just-announced 64 Audio Duo should be one of your top priorities at the show. Like the name implies, the 64 Audio Duo is a dual-driver hybrid IEM with 1 dynamic and 1 balanced armature per side. The Duo's dynamic driver covers the low and mid-ranges, while one of 64 Audio's TIA or tubeless in-ear audio drivers takes care of the highs. The Duo also features 64 Audio's Apex Core, which 64 Audio has described as a semi-open back and fully open front system. They say Apex Core offers an experience reminiscent of open back over-ear headphones, and that alone is enough to pique my curiosity. While I'm already sold on trying the Duo, 64 Audio goes farther and says the Duo presents their signature balanced sound in a whole new way, capturing the listener's auditory senses while they forget they're wearing IEMs at all. A relaxed tonality with a vast open-air sensation. The Duo is an absolute must-hear at CanJam SoCal, so be sure to stop by 64 Audio's exhibit to audition the Duo and the rest of the 64 Audio lineup.
Centrance is no stranger to headfires, and they'll be returning to CanJam SoCal with their updated line of products, including the DACport HD, a bus-powered USB dongle DAC amp featuring increasingly rare ATM silicon and exceptionally powerful Class A amplification. Their DACport Pro, a Pro Audio DAC amp, also with ATM silicon, featuring dual XLR output and built-in VU meters for live monitoring. The Serene DB, a closed-back studio monitor headphone designed for detail and transparency, suitable for musicians, engineers, and audiophiles alike. And this, the HIFIMAN V2, version 2 of the original HIFIMAN that was actually crowd designed by headfires nearly 8 years ago. The HIFIMAN V2 is a beast of a feature set folded into a Swiss Army knife of a DAC and headphone amp. With both USB and Bluetooth inputs, it serves as a source for your music from PCs, Macs, phones and tablets, both Android and iOS of course, or your DAP of choice. Its digital stage utilizes ATEM's AK4493, handling up to 32-bit 384 kHz, as well as DSD, all regulated by mil-spec clocks for an amazingly low 1 picosecond of jitter. Throw in a bass boost, treble boost, both low and high gain settings, and a Class A amplification stage capable of up to 1.6 watts of output power, available from either 3.5 or 6.35 millimeter single-ended TRS outputs, or through balanced outputs in the form of 2.5 millimeter TRS jacks, or 4-pin XLR jacks, and you now have a portable DAC amp that even some desktop units dream of being when they grow up. I've been using a HIFIMAN V2 to drive my Sennheiser 650, Sennheiser HD800, both of which I would typically not pair with portable gear, and it drives them both with absolute authority. But that's not the last word here, because making its debut at CanJam is a prototype of Centrance' new Ampersand portable headphone amplifier, which will, I kid you not, output up to 3 watts per channel into some of the most demanding headphones on the planet. Do not miss Centrance's exhibit at CanJam SoCal 2021.
There's a small number of exhibitors you can always expect to see at a CanJam, and without a doubt, Empire Ears is on that list. Alongside their incredibly popular line of universal and custom fit IEMs, including community favorites like the Wraith, Odin, and Valkyrie, Empire Ears is debuting the next evolution of their highly regarded Legend X IEM, which they're calling the Legend Evo. The Legend Evo starts with the driver complement from the original Legend X, replaces the dual W9 dynamic drivers with 2 of Empire Ears' new W9 Plus drivers, and pairs those with a new bone-conducting Weapon X Ultra driver. Empire Ears says the upgraded arrangement delivers an experience that you can see and feel all the way from 5 Hz to 35 kHz in what Empire Ears has described as the most immersive, pure, and stereophonic sound possible. There aren't many manufacturers I've found who have successfully incorporated bone conduction designs to deliver jaw-dropping experiences, but based on what I've seen with their current lineup, Empire Ears is one of the companies that may just be able to pull it off. I haven't had a chance to try the Legend Evo yet for myself, and you can be sure that it is one of my top priorities at their exhibit. There's always a first time for everything. There are countless firsts in our lives that evolve into some of our most impactful experiences and happy memories. The first time you went to your favorite restaurant, the first time you listened to your favorite set of headphones. Firsts mean a lot to us. VZR is a newcomer to CanJam, and they're looking to deliver a strong first impression with the VZR Model 1. According to VZR, the Model 1 is the first hi-fi headset engineered specifically for both competitive gaming and critical listening. The Model 1 features a closed-back design with a carbon fiber structural ring, detachable noise-canceling boom microphone, and a technology VZR calls Crosswave. VZR's co-founder and inventor Vic Tiscareno states that VZR's Crosswave focuses sound to different parts of your ear for a more precise and natural audio experience, and the company says that Crosswave selectively and strategically reshapes audio waves to emulate the way you would perceive the sound in real life without headphones, resulting in improved separation, openness, and accurate 3D spatial positioning. I haven't had the opportunity to experience the Model 1 yet, but I'll be stopping by VZR's exhibit to see if the Model 1 becomes another first for me. DUNU recently announced 2 new in-ear monitors on HeadFi, and both will be at CanJam SoCal. These new IEMs are both built on DUNU's new Eclipse driver technology platform. DUNU says the Eclipse platform enables them to build drivers that have a larger percentage of the surface area dedicated to sound reproduction. That's no small feat, and I can't wait to hear how they've incorporated it into the new DUNU Falcon Pro and Zen Pro. Based on its predecessor, the Falcon C, the Falcon Pro is the first of 2 new IEMs built on the Eclipse platform. The Falcon Pro features a 10mm Eclipse dynamic driver and 3 different tuning nozzles with varying stem length and dampening material to tailor the Falcon Pro's sound signature to your individual tastes. Stop by their exhibit and see which tuning you prefer. The second new IEM in DUNU's lineup is the Zen Pro. The Zen Pro contains a 2nd generation 13.5mm driver, which DUNU says is now stiffer and lighter for superior internal dampening and widened effective bandwidth over its predecessor, the DUNU Zen. DUNU said they took feedback from existing Zen users to create more of an even-keeled treble response than the first Zen. If you're a current DUNU Zen owner, the Zen Pro is a must-hear at the show. Oh, and one more thing. DUNU says that CanJam attendees who complete a feedback questionnaire at their exhibit will be entered into a giveaway drawing for both the Zen Pro and Falcon Pro. Be sure to stop by DUNU's exhibit to learn more about DUNU's Eclipse platform and to experience the Falcon Pro and Zen Pro at CanJam.
If you find yourself on a continuing quest for the perfect cables, then you'll definitely want to stop by Atlas's exhibit as they make their CanJam debut at SoCal 2021. Whether you need analog or digital connects, headphone cables, or even speaker cables, from their entry-level Element line to their advanced Hyper line, through their premium Mavros line, all the way to their bespoke Asimi line, chances are that Atlas has a solution to offer you. Each and every one of their performance tables is handmade in Kilmarnock, Scotland, and that level of artisanal craftsmanship is particularly apparent with their wrapped and stitched Asimi tables. I'm now properly curious as to how Atlas's tables look and perform in real life. If you are too, be sure to stop by Atlas's exhibit and that of their distributor, Vanna Limited, at CanJam SoCal 2021.
One of the IEMs that I'm looking forward to trying at CanJam is the new flagship in Noble Audio's line, the Noble Audio Sultan. The Sultan is a 7-driver hybrid sporting one 10mm dynamic driver for bass, 4 balanced armature drivers for the mids, and 2 ultra-frequency electrostatic drivers for the highs. Noble Audio describes the Sultan's sound signature as sublime, with excellent bass extension without being overwhelming, superb mids, and non-fatiguing but detailed highs. While I haven't yet given the Sultan a listen, based on how Noble describes the sound, I am certainly interested in doing so at CanJam. One of Noble Audio's IEMs with which I am familiar is the Noble Audio Con. The Con features a 6-driver per side design with 3 different driver technologies inside: 4 balanced armature drivers, 1 10mm dynamic driver, and 1 10mm piezoelectric driver. Noble Audio's John Moulton took these drivers and did a beautiful job sculpting the Con's treble-focused yet well-balanced sound. Be sure to audition the Con, its flagship sibling the Sultan, and the rest of their lineup at Noble Audio's exhibit.
Dan Clark Audio will be exhibiting at CanJam SoCal, and their new closed-back flagship, Dan Clark Audio Stealth, will be, without a doubt, one of the most sought-after auditions at the show. The Stealth is DC Audio's move into the higher end of the high-end, and we recently posted a video about the Stealth, so please do watch it if you haven't already, as we talk about it in some detail, including several measurements. The Dan Clark Audio Stealth is again a closed-back headphone, but it employs a new invention they call AMTS, which stands for Acoustic Metamaterial Tuning System, and which perhaps counterintuitively goes between the transducer and the ear. AMTS is a single, very complex piece that integrates waveguides, diffusion control, quarter wave, and Helmholtz resonators into a single compact structure per side. With AMTS, Dan Clark Audio can control resonances as well as shape frequency response from 3 kHz up to the ultrasonic. With AMTS, among other optimizations, Dan Clark Audio has the most open-back sounding closed-back I've yet heard. So make sure not to miss the Stealth and the rest of the Dan Clark Audio lineup at CanJam. Now, Dan Clark Audio will be sharing an exhibit with Headamp, and Headamp always comes to CanJam with top-flight rigs, with things like their Headamp Blue Hawaii electrostatic headphone amp, which many feel is the best electrostatic headphone amp made. And being driven by the Blue Hawaii will be the Dan Clark Audio Voce and the Stax SR009S. Headamp will also have the Dan Clark Audio Stealth and Meze Audio's new Elite, among other flagship headphones, which I very much want to hear, driven by the Headamp GSX Mark II, which is Headamp's flagship non-electrostatic amp. There will be plenty more at the Dan Clark Audio and Headamp exhibit than I had time to cover here, so make sure to visit them at CanJam.
Sound ID, which comes to us from the team behind SonarWorks. Sound ID will be at CanJam SoCal, demonstrating the 2nd generation of their Sound ID software suite. Sound ID is a sound personalization program designed to help tailor the sound of your headphones based on the result of short in-app listening tests. There are 2 different tests you can take within Sound ID, one to help Sound ID understand your listening preferences, and the other, a hearing test that analyzes the sharpness of your hearing at specific frequencies. Once both tests are complete, Sound ID will generate a user profile based on your individual tastes and acuity. From that profile, the Sound ID desktop app optimizes all of the audio coming from your computer for a made-to-measure listening experience. I completed my series of tests using a set of in-ears I never leave my house without, my Apple AirPods Pro. I use the AirPods Pro daily thanks to their excellent features and overall convenience, but admittedly, the default tuning is a bit off from my sonic preferences. After only a few moments listening to these same headphones tuned by Sound ID, it's easy to see how this might just be a game changer for some. Stop by the Sound ID exhibit to see how Sound ID might just help improve your daily drivers. Sibling companies Etymotic and Westone will be joining us at CanJam SoCal this year, and with the two neighboring each other, you won't have to go far to experience a wide range of products. Etymotic will of course be showing their iconic ER4 SR and ER4 XR models, alongside the ER3 and ER2 families of IEMs, but the must-hear at their exhibit is their first multi-driver IEM, the Etymotic Evo. The Evo features dual-balanced armature drivers for the low end, a single driver for the mid-range, and a single high-frequency driver. The Evo breaks away from Etymotic's traditional slim housing design and goes with a more conscious-shaped body. Next door at Westone's exhibit, you'll be able to audition the Westone B50. The B50 is a 5-driver IEM designed with audiophile bass heads in mind, and comes in a 1 low, 2 mid, and 2 high configuration. Westone says they pulled out all the stops and used their largest balanced armature ever to deliver a sound custom-tailored for headfires who just can't get enough low end. The B50 comes with both wired and wireless connection options in the box, and removable metal faceplates. With Etymotic and Westone exhibiting side by side, you won't have to go far to experience a broad spectrum of in-ear sound. Whether you're looking for a balanced reference sound or something that can deliver more slam and impact, make sure Etymotic and Westone are on your list.
Audio is a local dealer from Whittier, California, specializing in some of the very best personal audio brands based in China today. At CanJam SoCal 2021, Audio will be showcasing a wide range of items, including some spectacular IEMs from Astrotech, KB Ear, and Tri, as well as premium IEM cables from Flash Acoustics, and world-class electronics from veteran manufacturer Yulong. Unfortunately, I'd have to admit that I've been too busy to visit Audio for auditions, even though they're relatively close by. But like many of you, I've seen quite a lot of excitement centered around some of the models that they carry, and so I've made a wish list of the gear that I'd like to try most while at CanJam SoCal. From KB Ear, I'd be happy to give their Lark, KS1, and KS2 a listen, but what I'd really like to hear are their older Believe and new Aurora models, featuring pure beryllium drivers and titanium drivers, respectively. From Tri, or TRI if you prefer, although their i3 and i4 models represent great values, I am personally interested in their premium IEMs, which includes their Star C, Star Shine, and Starlight models, the latter of which is a tri-brid IEM featuring a single dynamic driver, 2 balanced armature drivers, and 4 electrostatic drivers. And of course, from Yulong, I am understandably curious about their DA1, an all-in-one DAC, preamp, and headphone amp combo unit, featuring an AKM AK4499 EQ DAC IC, a fully discrete balanced topology, Class A amplification, and a beautiful external power supply to boot. If any of the above has piqued your interest, like it's piqued mine, then stop by Audio's exhibit at CanJam SoCal 2021.
Audeze will be at CanJam SoCal, and with 2 recently announced Audeze flagships, the electrostatic carbon and the planar magnetic LCD5, I think theirs is going to be one of the most popular exhibits at CanJam. I think for many, the electrostatic Audeze carbon was a surprise, with Audeze being known, of course, for their planar magnetic headphones. The carbon took years of development, and the result is an electrostatic headphone that competes mightily with any other electrostatic headphones in its class. The carbon's huge diaphragms do not use a metallic coating on them like all other electrostats I'm aware of, but instead have carbon nanotubes embedded within and throughout them for more uniform conductivity and durability. If you're an electrostatic enthusiast, hearing the carbon is a must. If you've never heard an electrostatic headphone before, hearing the carbon is a must. Also taking years of research and development is Audeze's new flagship planar magnetic LCD5. The LCD5 is formidable, with resolving ability that easily places it among the top tier of all non-electrostats in my opinion. The LCD5 is also all new, sharing no parts with any LCD headphones before it, and it weighs only 415 grams. Now, we recently reviewed both of these headphones in separate videos in greater detail and with measurements, so make sure to watch our Audeze Carbon and LCD5 videos if you haven't done so already. And definitely make sure to check them both out at Audeze's exhibit at CanJam SoCal.
It was during CanJam at RMAF 2018 when I experienced something eye-opening, something so alluring that everyone at the show was talking about it. a striking headphone that was provocative to both sight and sound. That headphone was the rall-requisite SR1A. As I walked around the show that weekend, a number of my friends came up to firmly encourage that I try out the strange-looking headphone in the back, and boy am I glad I did. While most of the headphones you'll see at CanJam fall into three main classifications, dynamic, planar magnetic, and electrostatic, the SR1A is in a class of its own thanks to a pair of full-range ribbon drivers. The SR1A's radiating element is extremely thin, corrugated aluminum ribbon that's extraordinarily light and remarkably flexible. When you stop by rall-requisite's exhibit, I recommend asking them to show you the ribbon element. It's absolutely incredible. Rall-requisite calls the SR1A the world's first ear-field headphone monitor, and I'd say that's an apt description. Unlike most headphones, the SR1A's open-air baffle design positions the ribbon drivers out and away from your ears to deliver an experience more akin to a set of near-field desktop monitors rather than a conventional headphone. The result is an almost unreal experience, which helps explain why the SR1A was on everyone's mind during CanJam at RMAF. Rall-requisite is bringing the SR1A to CanJam SoCal, so don't miss your chance to try it for yourself at their exhibit.
Again, CanJam SoCal is happening September 25th and 26th at the Irvine Marriott Hotel in Orange County, California. On your screen now is a list of all the exhibitors and brands at CanJam SoCal this year. Again, we've missed you all so very much, and we can't wait to see you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in SoCal and on the forums at headfi.org.